Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Sox on Tap.
Tony, my first reaction is just, fuck yes, let's go.
Sox versus the Twins. That's where it all starts. It all starts taking care of business in-house in the Central Division.
That's right, I'm a meatball.
You got to bring that top button swag, baby.
It is always great to beat the Cubs.
And I'm a homer, so I always say they're gonna.
Dallas Keuchel Lamson got some beards that you should be afraid of.
What everybody said when he gets out there, it's me versus the other guy, and I'm going to beat him. So I just love that mentality. It's cool and fucking tough.
Steve, would you say that Tony is mad online?
I would definitely say that.
The White Sox winner. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Sox on Tap. I am your boy Buzz. I'm joined by my dude Tony, aka Tony on Tap, and we are here to recap an unfortunate White Sox loss to the goddamn Twins 8-5. Before we do that, be sure you're going to OnTapSportsNet.com for all your Chicago sports literature and podcasting needs. Following us on Twitter at Sox on Tap and on Tap Sportsnet. Follow my dude Tonebone at Tony on Tap and following me at Buzz on Tap. Anywhere you can listen to podcasts, you can listen to us. 5-star rating and review because that's cool and tough. And check out Grandstand. You need any White Sox gear like this cool t-shirt I'm wearing right now? Go to Grandstand. Check them out on socials at Grandstand Sox. Or if you can't make it down by the ballpark to visit them, go to grandstandsox.com. Order whatever you need. Grandstand. Check them out. Tony, it's 4th of July weekend. Most of us had Monday off, which is awesome. A rare 3-day weekend in the summer. Great to see. But our White Sox are losers of 3 straight. I don't feel great. I'm a little irritated. But I'm here with you, and my night just got better because when I'm with you, we already know what's going to happen. A little bit of the crack-em action.
Crack them.
So
yes.
let's talk some baseball, man. How you doing?
Let's do it. I'm not doing great. This has been a fucking terrible weekend when it comes to White Sox baseball. Let's not lie,
dude. I'm sorry. It got me right away.
No, I'm not great. I'm a little irritated. I feel like if there was a time to say, is Tony mad online? It's probably right now.
It's right now.
It's right now. I'm trying to, use things to make me feel better, like Budweiser, just all the other.
You'd be so proud of me. I drank like 4 of them today. I did.
Hey, congratulations.
Thank you.
Some hair on your chest.
I did.
That's great, man. That's great. I'm a little irritated. Maybe man online. Maybe some meatball takes coming tonight because this was just another game that should have been winnable for the Chicago White Sox that wasn't. And yes, before we go any further, Buzz, PSA for everybody, as they like to say on Twitter.com. You could be mad about this team's performance over stretches. You can be completely pissed off as a fan and yet still believe that this team has the talent and the wherewithal to get to the promised land. And I'm putting myself in that camp. I'm not straddling any fences. I could be mad about things that's going on with this team right now because, look, Buzz, as this show starts out and as the saying goes in our intro, it all starts right here, taking care of business, right in the Central Division. That's the Minnesota Twins. That's the Detroit Tigers. And the White Sox, who have performed great against those teams so far this year, really shat the bed this weekend. And that grinds my gears just a little bit. How about you?
Oh, no, it definitely should. And I love that you point out on that fact, Tony, because you are critical of the team. And this is just us talking. Like you could whether or not you love the show or you hate the show, whatever you do or whatever your opinion is or it isn't, you can have an opinion that the team played like shit and still support the team. So I want to validate your opinion with an agreement here. It's absolutely ridiculous, the ridicule that you can get on Twitter.com if you are against the team and how they played one day because, they'll just bounce back. Well, listen, man. We don't have a lot of room to bounce back. Let's just win the games that we can win because I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I have no fucking idea how the Chicago White Sox, with everything they've went through this year, are 16 games above 500, and how they're in first place in the AL Central. I couldn't tell you, but you have to take advantage of these games. You're going to lose some, you're going to win some, no doubt about it. But the play this weekend has been abysmal. kind of made the weekend a little shitty if you're a baseball fan. I know, oh my God, back off real quick, because if I say that, I'm going to get attacked. I'm not attacking anybody in general. It was just the White Sox baseball sucked this weekend, man. They didn't win. So as a Sox fan, you're upset, right?
Yeah, you are. And they played some very uninspiring games with large stretches of innings gone by with lack of offense or frustrating plays on defense. We're going to get into how I feel about Zach Collins in a little bit, but there was just way too many things that have gone wrong for the Chicago White Sox over the past 3 games to not be a little mad about them. Are you in my camp right here with that statement that you've had enough little league bullshit happen once again to not be a little bit upset?
No, I mean, the fielding's been pretty shitty. I think we had that in text message last night. There's things that it looks like guys are just going through the motions, and it's just something that's very frustrating when you're leaving the I know we did have a show last night, and I want to apologize to people if they were waiting for it, if they weren't, whatever. But it was the 4th of July yesterday, so
okay. So first off, I'm glad you apologized to everybody. My first meatball take of the day is if you were waiting for the show to come out last night and weren't outside watching fireworks,
you're doing it all wrong.
You're doing 4th of July wrong. So we apologize if that comes off a little controversial. I've seen so many controversial takes about fireworks over the past few days, Buzz. I don't know if I want to get into them right now.
Why not? Why can't we?
This
is literally Sunday fun day for us.
Because
we both have to work tomorrow, we both had today off because of the holiday.
Sunday fun day, but there's a lot of people out there online on various platforms who, have somehow come against the fireworks. I heard it disturbs the fishes. I heard the rabbits can't find their way back home. I understand it upsets your dogs. My dog hasn't slept in 2 days. He slept all day today. It was glorious. He was finally getting some rest during the day today. I understand that it can affect your pets, and I'm sensitive to that. But there is nothing better than fireworks, because fireworks remind me of White Sox home runs and freedom and the great country that we live in, which is the United States of America, Buzz, that people fought for our freedom to be able to enjoy days like the 4th of July and holidays and stuff like that. So I'm a big supporter of fireworks. I love what they symbolize. I love what they do. And just being a kid and seeing the awe of the firework, it's ingrained in me from watching The Sandlot. You know the scene, Buzz.
Absolutely.
The Sandlot movie, down to the fact of just being a kid in awe of watching fireworks when Frank Thomas hits home runs. I love fireworks. It's been that way since I was a kid. So I'm sorry. I am a fireworks supporter, and I always will be. Sensitive to your concerns, but one night of the sky being lit up and some loud noises, I think, is a small price to pay for the freedom that you get to enjoy by living here.
It was a cool 4th of July for me because as you and I have had conversations in the past, I have a few cousins that are in the service that serve our country, and my little brother, Michael and Anthony, both of them. I love them very much. My half brothers, but they're still my brothers. I love them very much. They will be joining the service as soon as they get out of high school here. So that's their plan. I didn't get to see them, but we talked on the phone, had a great time, watched fireworks. I brought Ren to see some fireworks here in New Lenox, Illinois. It was a great time. Watched a great show. And that was it. But I mean, again, I can't lie to you that I was a little irritated with White Sox baseball.
Yes, I'm back on that. I'm sorry for going off on a
tangent.
You're not. Normally, we keep that stuff.
Oh, come on, dude. We're cracking beers.
Out of here, but we're cracking beers. We're
this
enjoying
isn't
the
a
rest,
fucking podcast.
The rest of the 4th of July weekend, Buzz. But you are correct.
You don't have any shit written down here.
The one thing that we did not enjoy was White Sox baseball.
No, and I love watching White Sox baseball, man. And again, I wasn't trying to talk over Tone there, but we don't have a fucking spreadsheet or a notebook about what we're going to talk about. This is literally
That's
Tony and I.
Johnny's not on the show.
Fair. It's fair. But this is literally Tony and I haven't got to talk in 2 days, really, because we had family shit and holiday shit going on, and we're here with beers, and we're talking about what we witnessed. Tony, obviously, I don't want to get too much into the Detroit series because we lost it. And it wasn't great, but coming into today's game, which is Monday, if you're listening to this, it might be Monday night or Tuesday morning on your way to work. The Sox should have beat the Minnesota Twins, and they had ample opportunity to do so, and it did not work out. I don't know if you want to get into the breakdown of this game. I really need our guys to have it more. And by our guys, I mean Dylan Cease and Lucas Giolito. I cannot have back-to-back starts like that.
Yeah, you know what? I don't really want to get into the breakdown of the Lucas Giolito start. Now, there's a lot.
No, we don't have to. Yeah.
There's a lot that's going on with that one, and there is a general topic that I do want to discuss briefly if we have time.
Let's do it.
But I'll table this one until after because I want to get into today's while it's fresh in the mind. Dylan Cease comes out. Looks good in the first buzz. But, one of the things that I was harping on last year was Dylan Cease's inability to get through those first 3 innings that first time through the order without giving up the long ball. And the guy that I hate the most, Max Kepler of the Minnesota Twins, who just always seems to spoil something for me and my happiness. I think he's got it out for me personally. Max Kepler, I don't know if I've ever gone to a Sox Twins game where Max Kepler, if he's in the lineup, hasn't done something ridiculous in the field or rake. He homers on what was one of the worst hanging curveballs that I've ever seen Dylan Cease throw. And that right there just set the tone for the entire night for me.
Yeah, no, it's fair. I felt like Dylan Cease came out in the first, and his breaking ball had some shit. I don't know. Do you agree with that? It had some shit. And I was like, oh my God, he's got it working. So now, Tony, as you know, if your breaking ball is working, what do you need? You need your fastball. You got to pair them babies together.
You need some command. You need a little bit of command.
You need that command. And if you got it, what's going to happen? That's a fucking dub. He's got the shit to do it. Yep. And again, it's typical Dylan Cease. You got it, and then you don't. And I like Dylan Cease. Listen, the 4.14 ERA he's rocking right now ain't terrible for where he is in the rotation with how young he is. But my God, when we don't have the offense half the time, I know they've been scoring at a pretty decent rate lately, but again, look at your opponent. You need to have it, man. You need to have.
Don't discount the fact that the White Sox offense has been pretty stagnant here. I know we're talking Dylan Cease, but the offense has been stagnant. Now, and I'm going to try and remove the weekend series in Detroit just because you're down Yasmani Grandal and Yohan Moncada. But there comes a point with this, and it gets so compacted by the injuries here. But this offense has had some trouble of late, and I'd even go back to the Astros series before we had the triumphant return of the White Sox offense against Minnesota at home. You can kind of date this back to the Houston Astros series, the struggles and the kind of feeling with this team where it's like you're playing some uninspiring baseball. At Nicker on Periscope commented and used the word uninspired. And that's exactly how I feel about this is they've played some uninspired baseball. And I don't know if that's injuries on top of things or just guys all going through slumps at the same time, but it feels like we're grasping at straws here. So when it comes to Dylan Cease, he's got to be perfect, man. That's what it is. And we've seen that out of the rotation. Really, when you're looking at Dylan Cease coming into this year, you have question marks. These are the question marks that were there before. So unless he's fucking perfect, dude, you've got problems.
Well, and that's the thing is I feel like it could be unfair to him a little bit. Obviously, on a competing team, no one wants to hear that because you're competing for what at the end of the day? A championship, correct? We're competing for a World Series. So you don't want to hear that it's like, oh, well, it's unfair to him because, A, B, or C. Which A, B, and probably C in this case are right because it's nothing but injuries and just obstacles that you have to keep climbing. And the fact of the matter
this is the world's worst game of Frogger.
It is. And the fact of the matter is, Tony, the Sox offense didn't start really popping again until about June 27th. And that's when
the night when we were there.
Right.
It was the night when we were there and they started hitting home runs.
Yes. It was June 27th against Seattle is when it really started popping off. And then the Sox started, we were there for that one. And then we were there for the 13-3 beatdown on Wednesday, June 30th. So the Sox offense really started coming alive within the last, what would you say, week and 2 days? And that's fine. So the last 3 games, they've scored 15 runs, 5, 5, and 5. Unfortunately, 5 runs ain't enough.
Yeah, it's sad to say that too. It is.
Well,
sad to say-
I'm not happy
had-
about it.
I had somebody actually come back at me. I forget what the point I made or said was on that Twitter.com website, but I had somebody come back at me and say, "Oh, no, that's what it was. It was Yasmani Grandal." I said after the Detroit series, this shows you how important Yasmani Grandal is to this lineup. And actually, I'm going to double down on this point right now just because I want to.
Well, I think it's a fair statement.
I don't care if you score 5 runs. It's how much you give up, and how much does Yasmani Grandal mean to your defense, Buzz? How much does Yasmani Grandal mean to the pitcher who's on the mound? And if you're scoring 5 runs and you're not winning ball games, something's gone wrong. It's your pitching or your defense.
Okay.
And Yasmani Grandal in those games may be a factor. So
I
here we
think-
go. Let's go.
I think it's fair to say, just for everybody that does not know you personally, that you are not like me at all. You are the least homerish person I've ever met in my life.
I don't know. I'm very homerish. but-
You're 100% not. We can go back. We have fucking over 200 episodes to prove that theory wrong.
We do.
So,
I've always wondered if I'm a homer or if I'm
yeah,
not a
you're
homer.
definitely not. So when you give somebody dap, I do believe that you believe that. It's not just because you like that player. We can go into our group chats with NWI Steve and Johnny about how
Okay.
you talk about the pitch framing and how poor it
Mhm.
is when Yasmani Grandal is not in. Yasmani Grandal adds a lot to what we have here
Mhm.
on this squad. I agree with you. And I'll tell you something right now. How he gets on base, it's effective. When he started hitting, it became even more effective. Like,
Yes.
who did you feel? I'm going to be honest with you. Over the last 3 weeks of baseball, when he was healthy, right? Who'd you feel more comfortable with at the plate? Jose Abreu or Yasmani Grandal?
Yasmani Grandal every single fucking time.
Just saying. That's what I'm saying. You're not a homer. So that he is very important to this squad. And to watch him go down.
Nobody makes me feel better than when Gavin Sheets is up.
Oh, I
Just
know you're
gonna-
big. I know
Yes.
you're a Gavin Sheets guy. Yeah, I know you are. Big Gavin Sheets guy. It's just like I said, man. There. I said this on the last episode we were on together before you and Steve did the Sheets episode. It's just there are only so many hills you can climb, and right now the Sox are looking at this All-Star break and only seeing 3 of our players going, which will be Lance Lynn, Carlos Rodon, and Liam Hendricks, all which are pitchers. This White Sox team has to be the happiest team within the MLB to see this break coming up. And that's just my opinion, because now you got Yaz, who just fucked his calf up today. He couldn't even walk off the field, which I'm not really happy about. I hate shit like that. If your calf is that fucking bad, call 911. I want you carted out of there. Seriously, it's just unbelievable to me. Get the fuck up, walk up off the field. I don't know. I'm not trying to be tough either. Everybody's chill. It's just like, come on, dude. Like, you didn't even swing. Like, if you're that bad, there's something completely wrong.
I mean, he's been battling through some stuff, and he was just out of the lineup. Yeah, you're shaking. For those who are listening to this in podcast form, Buzz is visibly upset.
I hate shit like
Yasmani
that.
Grandal's apparent calf injury.
I'm not saying that he's not hurt.
No, I'm not. I know you're not saying that he's not hurt.
It's shit like that drives me. Like, I'm gonna be you for. I'm gonna throw a fit for a minute. It's shit like that drives me up a fucking wall, dude. Like, listen,
Get
sports
this man a cart.
Well, sports are not like everyday life, and I know that, and I respect that for sure. I am fucking 5'9", 155 pounds. I think like 70 of it's beer. Like, if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Physical job, getting up and down. Like, dude, I have fucked myself up. I can barely get out of bed in the morning. I swear to God, just from physical labor. Like, okay, just get up and walk off, man. Never show weakness. Because
You are going very philosophical here. This might be your meatball take of the day.
It might be, dude. Like, come on. It doesn't change the fact that I love Yasmani Grandal. He might be the only jersey on this team. And I don't buy jerseys. He might be the only one I fucking buy for this team. That shit today drove me up a fucking wall, dude. It did. It drove me up a wall. Him could not. He didn't swing. Like, if you fucked yourself up that bad, like you said, I want a cart. I'm like, what the fuck happened that you're that hurt? Like ACL, MCL, what are we talking here?
You don't know, because tomorrow, and that's what scares me, man. That's what scares me. I'm going to segue this. That's what scares me, is that if he goes down like that and like is back in the lineup tomorrow, like it's just it.
He
it's
won't
the
be in the
same.
lineup tomorrow. I promise
It's
you.
the same thing that you see kind of with Yohan Moncada.
You will not see him in the lineup tomorrow. We will not see Yasmani Grandal till after the All-Star break. That's my opinion. I
hope not.
No, I don't even want to see
Moncada.
I don't even want to see Moncada till after the All-Star break. If
Dude, he ripped a triple today, and he ran through.
He looked great doing it.
Moncada looked fantastic today. Let's take a moment and talk about.
I just want everybody to be healthy.
Yes, I want everybody to be healthy as well. But you need to win these ball games, and they are very winnable ball games. Unfortunately, because of the injuries that the White Sox staff has taken on, Buzz, I just don't think that you can give guys like Yohan Moncada that extra rest day throughout the week and still continue to do that. I mean, we're down Jake Lamb right now. I mean, that's how bad this has gotten.
If you're gonna fucking pronounce it right, please. It's Rake Lamb. No, I'm just kidding.
Jay Clam.
Clam, Rake Lamb. Okay.
Shout out White Sox Sale.
Yeah.
Jay Clam.
But
man, this game, if we want to tail back here for just a second, the Sox do get on the board in the 6th inning.
Yeah.
But then, here's what really bothers me is that anytime the Sox seem to scrape back in these games, your opponent comes back up and
they give it back.
Fucking puts it right back down your throat. You can't have that happen.
You know what kills me about that though? Ryan Burr has been pretty good.
Yes, he has.
And the fact that he was the one that suffered from the Minnesota Twins little rally they had there off of him. That really sucks, man.
It does really suck.
Because he's been really good. His fastball, his change, I mean, he has just been really good. If you go to Baseball Savant, I know a lot of people are, know about that website there. It's very awesome. You can see, what he throws, how often he throws it, swings and misses, effectiveness. Ryan Burr has been very good with his fastball and his breaking shit since he's come up, and he's been decent. Really sucked tonight to see him the one that paid for the White Sox to just get fucked up in 34 pitches, man.
It did. It really hurt to see Ryan Burr be on the receiving end of that because he's the one guy that I've been very high on in this bullpen. And, dude, to have that extra option to carry you through a couple of a week stretch and you wish that it would have lasted a little bit longer, we're obviously going to see how he responds. If we want to take this one with somewhat of a silver lining, Buzz, it's that we escape it with Cleveland losing.
Yeah.
Ryan Burr doesn't become, some sort of in his own head here about how he cost the White Sox a game and goes through a tailspin. You want to see him come back in the next one and just continue his performance that he's shown thus far this season and respond well to this because he's really been untouchable so far this year.
Yeah,
and
he has.
This is his first little bit of trouble that he's gotten himself into. So let's see how he comes back from it.
I kind of know we've been bouncing around and I know we haven't done a show in 2 days and that's why we're kind of bouncing around, but it's fun. It's just organic conversation. But what I really liked the most out of tonight with how the bullpen was used? I don't know about you. I'm going to let you touch on it, obviously. I really like the Crochet Burr pairing, and I felt confident with it. I don't know if you did, but I did. I felt confident with that pairing of guys. I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, okay, let's see what the
Crochet scared me just a little bit this year. He's not the same dominant self that he was.
We're not seeing the velocity. I agree.
No, we're not seeing the velocity. We're not seeing the Garrett Crochet that scares me out of the bullpen. So I'd put him more in the middle of the road, kind of like last year
pairing. What about the pairing?
The pairing's okay, but what I really wanted to see in this ballgame, Buzz, and I'll be honest with you, is the White Sox offense put Tony La Russa in the position to use bullpen A squad instead of going to Garrett Crochet or whoever else. I wanted fucking Michael Kopech to Liam Hendricks. That's what I wanted. And if you needed to bridge that, you go to Ryan Burr in a better situation, in a clean inning with a lead where Ryan Burr can come out and say, I've got these motherfuckers, instead of coming in there trying to protect a ball game. Because you have not seen Michael Kopech pretty much all weekend Liam Hendricks hasn't been used in a few days. And if there's one thing we've learned about Tony La Russa's strategy so far, it's that if his team doesn't have a lead or isn't really feeling like they're in a ball game, he's not going to guys like Michael Kopech or Liam Hendricks if he doesn't have to. He's going to save those guys. So you start to see the same Matt Fosters and Jace Fry's and Garrett Crochet's roll out there, because Garrett Crochet hasn't established himself enough to be on Tony La Russa's A team right now. So you start to get this over and over again. So while I feel good about that pairing, I wasn't feeling good about what I was seeing coming out of the bullpen tonight. And that's just a result of how the White Sox were playing.
No, I mean, that's fair. I just looked at it from from a grander scheme, I think. And I was like, man, I kind of like this. I kind of like this pairing. Dynamic lefty going to Ryan Burrow, who's just been fantastic. I felt for a minute before Ryan got lit up that the Sox could get back into this one and make it happen. Unfortunately, it just didn't happen that way, which is whatever. You can't, like I said, you can't win them all. But going into the next game, Tone, I mean, thank God Cleveland lost. And I will, do you know Cleveland? I don't want you to look. Do you know what their record is over the last 10?
It's like something like 1-8 or 2-8.
You already had it. It was 1-9.
2-8, 1-9, somewhere around there.
So
not good.
No, and the White Sox over their last 10 are not elite either. Okay,
no.
They're 5-5. So this slump, okay, by Cleveland, I feel is why we're not panicking even more than we thought we would be right now, because it is a major slump you're witnessing from Cleveland.
Fair. You've seen them really take just a step off the gas pedal completely.
2 games only, Tone. 2 games over 500 for Cleveland right now.
Yeah, they're not a good ball club. In fact, you could make some arguments that they should sell at the deadline if you're Cleveland here. So this has been more frustrating to me because it was a chance for the White Sox. Now think about it. If you won your last 3 games, you're talking about being – 9 games up in the division in mid-July. Yeah. And that's a just run away with it type lead at this point. Oh, yeah. Because you have to go through a series. And the White Sox, like you said, not great in their last 10. That goes back to what I said earlier. It all starts right here in your own division. Right. You got to take care of business. So while the White Sox, and maybe this is a false sense of security, though, and that's why I'm scared. Because if you're the White Sox and you're maintaining this lead while playing, 500 or maybe sub 500 baseball over your last, 15 games, should you be worried? Should you be concerned about the AL East, the AL West? Should you be concerned about interleague play versus just riding it out content right now? Or what's the price going to be for an acquisition come the trade deadline versus today?
Oh, right. I think we've talked about that an extent on this show. Right. And you know what, dude? Like we still feel like we don't know where we're at with acquisition. You had a great article on ontapsportsnet.com about Trevor Story. I had one about Adam Frazier a couple weeks ago. I wasn't sure what they were going to do. Obviously, we talked about Ketel Marte last time.
They don't seem rushed. I'll tell you that.
Right. And when you bring up the AL East and you bring up interleague play, and you're like, do they feel rushed? Are they content? You know what? Honest to God, Tone, when you go up and down and you look at the AL Central right now, I mean, the Sox are in a little bit
about the AL Central.
Right. They're in a fucking bind, right? The Sox are in a bind, but everybody else can't touch them anyway. And this is the B squad out there. So I feel like the White Sox will make something happen because they will win the division, but they will be scared about, other getting into the playoffs, making shit happen. They're going to have to make an acquisition unless everybody comes back healthy. But even then, if they do come back healthy, you're going to have your growing pains to get back in the lineup and all that bullshit. But right now, said and done, I feel like if you want to be a feared team, you need to get back where you were in July. Late part of May, early June, where you were just fucking everybody up. Mm-hmm. I mean, no matter who came to you, you were fucking them up. And that's where it needs to go back to. Because if it doesn't, you're going to have a bad time. But again, there is a little bit of a safety net there with the break.
Yeah, you've got a safety net right now. Like you said, everybody's injured. Everybody's dealing with their stuff. But I want this team to continue to play at at a more inspiring level of baseball.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Where the games are a little more entertaining. You're starting to get people on base early, score runs, give your pitchers leads to work with. The rotation's just a little bit more entertaining to watch. I think everybody's kind of at this point taken somewhat of a step back from where they were. But still, man, I think that the White Sox should still be buyers. I want them to do something soon. I don't think it's going to happen, though.
No, I mean, whoa. So you think they're not going to do shit?
No, not right away. I don't think they're going to do something like tomorrow.
How you worded it had me for
I don't think they're going to do something tomorrow, but I think they should be buyers at the deadline. Don't know if it's exactly going to be something as sexy as we'd want it to be. It might be a Jeff Blum type move.
Hey, Jeff Blum's a fucking legend here.
But they're going to do something. They'll add in some way, shape, or form.
Oh, I mean, I think that your theory a couple weeks ago. I mean, who would have thought? I know it was all bullshit, and I want to shout out Jordan Miller. I know I shout him out all the time, but he was a guy that had the same thing, same thought process you did with Trevor Story. I mean, you can go back. What was it? 4 episodes ago, you were talking about like, hey, why don't you take a flyer, move him to second base, he can play the infield. Madrigal's dead, so why not give it a shot? And look what we hear today.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, not today, but yesterday.
It was yesterday.
Yeah. I mean, there's a million different ways they can go about this. I will say one thing about Rick Hahn right now. All the people that are shitting on him for not making a move, and I can give 2 fucks if I'm right or wrong. I just want my team to win. And I think that's why we do such a good job with Sox on Tap. I don't give a fuck if I'm right or wrong. But I give Rick Hahn 100% of the credit for not being a pussy and pulling the trigger too early.
I think that's a argument that can be won or lost.
100% could be. That's an opinion.
Yeah, that's your opinion on this.
Opinion-based argument.
I'll go out and give another meatball take here. I still think that Rick Hahn is very trigger shy.
Oh, it could be
because of the Fernando Tatis deal for James Shields. I think that's the last time he was presented with a ball club that was in this situation, and that's the trade he fired off. And right now, like, he's even called himself a dumbass for doing so. So I feel like there's things that Rick Hahn evaluates, and from the experience that he learned on the job, that those things can burn you, and that's made him a more patient individual in dealing with situations like this.
Like I said, you're not wrong for thinking
that's why he didn't pull the deal for whatever it would have been for Escobar, if that included Zach Collins or whatever. So I can see that, and maybe this is where you call me more of a realist than a homer, so I can evaluate his side of this and say, if I'm in his shoes, here's how I'm going to look at it. But I can also still have that fan side to me that's like, hey, Rick, fuck you. Flags fly forever.
I 100% agree with you. I'm looking at something that I kept the same energy about. I want sustained success. I want championships. I refuse to accept somebody overpaying for Eduardo Escobar. I refuse that. I'm sorry. I refuse it. I'm going to bring on a guy.
He photoshopped him into a White Sox uniform.
I know. It looked really good.
Somebody did, not us.
No, it looked really good. Great. They did great.
No,
I mean,
they
didn't pull that picture from a few years ago, but yeah, no, it looked great. But I mean, that's the thing though, man. Like, yeah, Escobar can mash. He can hit a ton of homers. We need pop in the lineup. We know we do. I'm not gonna drain my ass.
On my fantasy team too, which means he'd get injured right away.
And look at, he's injured already. So that's a big reason. I mean, this motherfucker didn't even need to get traded to the Sox, Tone. It just needed to be said that he might get traded here, and he almost dies. I don't fucking get it. I mean, it is what I don't know what to say. But I'm glad, and I could be wrong. Maybe you're right. Maybe it's your thought process where Rick Hahn is so gun shy he refuses to do anything, or maybe this was a smart move to be like, listen, dude, I'm in the Central right now. The Central blows. We're kicking ass. I'm going to ride it out until you're desperate to sell.
We're kicking ass with our 5-5 in our last 10 and struggling through road trips. That's the other thing.
I've got my fan base excited about Brian Goodwin and Billy Hamilton. So yes.
So like, okay, if you're Rick Hahn, I like that because now I can segue that in my ADHD mind and come up with a whole new segment here for both of us. If you're Rick Hahn, and you know how like you start out in MLB The Show and they give you objectives.
Yeah, oh yeah.
They give you like GM objectives. Like, what if Rick Hahn's GM objectives were to get the fan base excited about like a low cost signing? Like that could have been one of his Jerry objectives from the owner. Like get people excited about Billy Hamilton.
Or
Rick Hahn,
Brian Goodwin.
or Brian Goodwin. Like Rick Hahn just scored so many bonus points for doing that. It's crazy to think, but like those are things that like Rick Hahn could actually like put on his performance evaluation report at the end of the year and be like, I signed Billy Hamilton and I sold X amount of dollars worth of Billy Hamilton merchandise.
I love
it's crazy to think, but
I love that
like, let's go that deep.
I love that you said that because like how funny would that be if that was real life? But I don't know, man. Like, you know, I think the objective for him, if I had to go into it and I'd be like, okay, we're killing the show right now. This is what it is. He had to turn this team from a zero into a hero.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, listen, we want the ring. We'll talk about how much fun.
Russo wants another ring.
Well, 100%. That's the only reason why he's here.
Jose Abreu wants a ring.
I'm sure he does. You and I as fans, yes, do we have a great time together with all of our friends at the ballpark or tailgates that we throw? Yes, of course. But what do we want more ultimately than anything? We want a ring.
I want to drink World Series victory beers. Buzz.
Right.
That's what I want to do.
I think he's on the way there. And I think the fact that he might be a little gun shy might be a good thing.
Because might be a bad thing too.
It 100% might be. But we have to give him the benefit of the doubt until we hit this trade deadline. This is the first year, besides last, that we were super competitive for. And supposedly the Rangers wanted way more than Dane Dunning for Lance Lynn. And Lance Lynn has been one hell of an acquisition. So if he just got him really for Dane Dunning and some fucking throw in and he's being patient here and he can make something happen, yes, absolutely. If he doesn't make anything happen and we falter out like we did last year, then I'm ready to bitch.
Well, I think that there's two sides to that, man. There's player performance, there's manager performance, there's all that goes on in the field, and sometimes you just get beat in the game of baseball.
Oh, yeah.
That's what happens.
It's your favorite saying. Baseball's a weird sport.
Baseball's a weird sport. So all we can judge Rick Hahn on is his abilities and moves to make the White Sox in the best position to win baseball games.
Yeah.
And as of right now, the way the injury bug has bitten this team,
it's so unfortunate.
The way that the team has responded and the way that they've continued to play and keep themselves in first place by a wide margin has been good.
Mm-hmm.
But is it the best? And that's up to everybody to discuss and argue and us to chat back and forth about.
Yeah.
I would say from my personal seat, no, the White Sox are not in the best position to win baseball games right now. There are additions that can be made to make the major league squad win more. It's Rick Hahn's job to decide whether or not my concerns are even valid at a cost rate. So
that's 100% fair, Tone, because I like the fact that you came out and you said that you think that there's moves that could be made that improve this team to help you win. You're not throwing bullshit, unrealistic trades out there.
I'm not throwing bullshit, unrealistic trades out there.
But that's where I do agree with you, though. I agree with you. There's a cost, but that's not our job to figure out what it is.
Right, that's his. So, and we'll sit back here and evaluate it however we see fit.
Right, and I agree with what you're saying. Dude, there's a move he can make somewhere that will help this team, 100%.
Oh, he could give an exorbitant amount of cost for whatever player right now.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's hit or miss because the capital the White Sox have right now, prospect-wise, is not great, Bob.
Yes, but
there are some intriguing options that you might be able to make a piece that is very complimentary that will help you gain W's right now,
Yes.
you could bring that here. But I mean, again, I don't know what the market looks like either.
Right, and that's what I mean. That Rick Hahn, his job is to go out and evaluate what that is.
Yeah.
Evaluate, he sees the same things we do.
Yeah.
He knows that there's moves that he can go out there and make. Is that going to jeopardize the future? Is that going to jeopardize this year potentially? Because you can go give Andrew Vaughn to another ball club right now. They'll give you something.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to help you.
I'll tell you what, man. He's a guy I really don't want to.
I don't want to move him. I don't want to move Gavin Sheets. Like, you can ask me all these questions, and you're like, okay, I don't want to move Gavin Sheets.
I don't mind moving Gavin Sheets.
I don't want to move Gavin Sheets. We could do this for the next 3 hours.
No, we're not going to.
We could if you wanted to.
You're sure he's on the way. I ordered it for you, right?
I hope you did. I'll wear it every day. Rick Hahn can go out there and give some of these guys to another team, and they're going to give you back a second baseman or a reliever, somebody that's going to help you.
Yeah.
He's in the tough spot because there's no winning here. I like every prospect we have. I also want to win ball games, and Rick Hahn should trade to win, and I don't want to give anybody up either. It's a tough crowd to please.
Oh no, dude! It's like I said, where you're at right now, it's very hard. You're sitting up. You're 6 games above second place. You're one, win away from 50, and you'll be like I think the 3rd team that reaches it the quickest, or the 4th team that gets to 50 the quickest out of everybody in the MLB. I mean, you have a bunch of opportunities in front of you that keep presenting themselves. Mm-hmm. Now, what door can you open that helps you reach the ultimate goal, or what door do you open that, like you said, makes you gun shy and makes you regret the next 10 years of what you did? And unfortunately for him, that's a very tough spot that he needs to get to. I think that, I'm going to double back a little bit over when I said I was not worried about the bullpen about 2 weeks ago, and maybe thinking that we need a right-handed arm in there. I think that might be now. What's it to you though? What's more important? You need some more pop. You need another batter. You need a fucking arm.
Well, you bring up the doors. Like, here's the Rick Hahn dating show. Door number 1 is James Shields, right?
So what do you do?
Door number 1 is James Shields, and Rick doesn't know door number 2. And I'm thinking about deadline acquisitions that eventually play a part in a World Series winning team. And I'm thinking, 2016 Cubs or Aroldis Chapman. Let's take all the off the field stuff away from this. But door number 1 is James Shields for Fernando Tatis. We'll see how that worked out. Door number 2 is Aroldis Chapman for Gleyber Torres, a guy that has done okay in his major league career.
No, that's fine. Yeah.
Here's a piece that actually helps you win.
Yeah.
And we're not talking positions. But you got door number 1 and door number 2. What you don't know?
Oh,
you don't know.
Like I talked about this with Steve last time. Steve and I were on. I said, I am so glad I'm not in that position. And he goes, "Well, you'd be a millionaire." And I'm like, "Yeah, you're right." I'm like, but I'd also be like fucking thrown out to pasture if I fucked up too.
Right. I thought that was a good comparison here because
it's fantastic because what the fuck door do you open?
What door do you open? Here's 2 trade offers for the same players. I got a starting pitcher who's got major league experience, veteran, good clubhouse guy, has been there, done that. Here's your closer, lockdown.
Yeah.
Gleyber Torres, Fernando Tatis. I feel like Fernando Tatis was even less recognized than Gleyber Torres was at the time of the trades that were made for both organizations. Yeah. So take prospect X and prospect Y and try and go get some piece. It doesn't always pan out the way you think because either that prospect's going to overperform or underperform what his expectations were in whatever organization versus here's the performance of somebody who's tried and true. Can they maintain that or do they fall the fuck off the face of the earth?
Yeah.
That's a lot to evaluate.
Dude, it is. And it's really hard to even fucking come up with an opinion just around what you just said because I just don't know what they do. And you know what, dude? With all the injuries and shit, you don't even know what ladder to start climbing. or what door to open or what avenue to travel down. It's absolutely insane to me. I feel like we got a lot of good conversation in about that. I know we didn't break down this game a lot, but I'm going to not break down the second game, but I'm going to get into the second game here. It was a little rough, obviously, this weekend. We just talked about the loss that we suffered today with Dylan Cease on the mound. We do have our all-star, which feels very good to say. And I do not flex very often, but I will take my flex right now, and I know my boy will have my back. Since I've known him, I've been a Carlos Rodon man. Since Sox on Tap has started, I've always liked Carlos Rodon. I am so happy to know that he will be an American League All-Star this year, because if there's one man that deserves it on this team, it is definitely Carlos Rodon. He'll be on the mound tomorrow against this motherfucker. Jose, I hate this son of a bitch. Jose Barrios is on the mound against 67-2 with a 3.52 ERA, 94 and 2/3 innings pitched there. He has struck out 96, walked 24, let up 11 long balls against our all-star, Carlos Rodon, who is 6-3, 2.37 ERA. 83 and 2/3 innings pitched there. He has struck out 122, walked 26, let up 7 long balls. If there's anybody to get the Sox back on track against Minnesota, it's Carlos Rodon, in my opinion. Pitching-wise, I don't really worry about Carlos Rodon. His shit has been fire all year. And as much as I hate and again, this will be another episode that we can break down one day, but the batting average, the expected batting average and the expected ERA, like all that.
Woba.
Yeah, I can give two fucks about that shit. Carlos Rodon has been fucking dope all year, and I feel like people have gotten lucky hitting off of him. Yeah. Has every pitch been great? No. But again, he's a human being. That's what happens. He's been great. If anybody can turn around, I think it's Carlos Rodon. I think it starts tomorrow.
I agree with you, man. I love Carlos Rodon. I think that he can get this team back on track. But it's not just going to be Carlos Rodon and Carlos Rodon himself. It's going to be on the offense. I love when Carlos Rodon pitches with the lead. We talked about this earlier today with the Dylan Cease start, and we've talked about this numerous times on the show. I love when this White Sox offense, especially when they're away in the games that they win, seems to start out with some early leads, give your pitcher the ability to come out there in the bottom of the first inning with a lead.
Yeah.
Go out there and do that, and you can get a more calm and relaxed Carlos Rodon who has just fuck you shit. I think that's the best way to put it at this point in time. Carlos Rodon reaching back in like the 5th, 6th inning of a ball game and hitting 100 miles an hour
is the coolest and toughest shit.
I love Lance Lynn, but Buzz, Carlos Rodon reaching back for 100 miles an hour, like post 100 pitches this year.
I've never seen anything like it.
Has been one of the coolest things I've seen from a White Sox team in a long time. So,
dude, I agree
wholeheartedly. I can't understate this enough. He's got that fuck you dude shit right now.
Yep.
He's got that. And if you give this man a lead, you will win a ball game.
Yep. All you got to do.
That's all I've got to say. Give this man a lead, you will win a ball game. That's Carlos Rodon 2021.
100%.
Resign the man too while you're at it.
Oh, absolutely. They need to. And you know what? I honestly, I know we'll get into this in the future. I think that Carlos Rodon does what the Sox did for him and gives them a little bit of a break. As crazy as it sounds, I think that it happens. We'll talk more about that on a Sunday fun day or whatever. But yeah, no, if there's anybody I feel more comfortable with taking the mound tomorrow, it's Carlos Rodon, and hopefully he can make some shit happen and get the Sox back in the win column after a 3-game losing streak against shit ass teams and the teams that are shit ass, and they're in our division. So we need to pick it up tomorrow, Tone. We get the All-Star break coming up. You need to go in there strong. That's what you do.
I don't like the All-Star break. Before we go any further, Buzz, is the All-Star break one of the hardest weeks for you to get through as a human?
Well, yeah, it sucks that I don't have what I want content baseball wise, to watch games because I got the package. I'm always watching.
Well, like I'll watch the home run derby because that's one of my favorite nights in
Me
America.
too. Yeah, me too.
And then after that, it's like so hard to get through.
Oh yeah, no, it's terrible. I think the MLB can do a little bit of a better job. And maybe we'll do something. Sox on Tap related.
Have a wiffle ball game.
Right.
We'll broadcast it for everybody to watch.
But I am a sucker, besides for the Pro Bowl, which is in the NFL. I am a sucker for it's whack.
Terrible.
I am a sucker for the NBA and the MLB All-Star Weeks. I'm just a sucker for it. I don't know if it's because I grew up with it or not. I'm not sure. I just love it so much.
Did you go in 2003?
Yeah, my dad brought me.
You went to the All-Star game?
Yeah.
So I went to the Fan Fest. I missed the All-Star game.
I mean, I was in like eighth. Wait a minute.
We were in like 7th grade.
Yeah, no, you're right. 7th. Yeah, 6th or 7th, right there. Yeah.
Yeah, I went to the Fan Fest at McCormick Place.
Yeah,
and like I won a bunch of MLB Showdown cards. I loved that game when I was a kid. I don't know if you remember those. They were like baseball cards where you could play a game with them.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Dude, I won some like live game in there, hitting a home run, rolling this giant 20-sided dice with Troy Glaus of the Angels at the time. And I won a bunch of free shit, and it was the coolest thing ever. And that was my All-Star Week experience as a kid. I've loved that ever since. But just lately, as an adult, like I can't tune into the All-Star game. I've lost complete.
You sound like my dad. My dad hates it too.
I've lost complete desire to watch the All-Star game just because it doesn't mean anything anymore. Yes, old man yells at cloud. Doesn't mean anything anymore. I loved as a kid that it meant something and that it determined World Series home field advantage. And I thought that it was just a weird quirk of baseball that like no other sport had.
I guess I never really cared if it had to do with like them getting home field advantage or home field, whatever, for the World Series. I just love the bragging rights aspect of it.
Yes.
Like what is and even within, especially being within Chicago, right? Like just being within friends of yours, like, yo, the AL just beat the fuck out of your NL. I'm like, what's up? Like that's how I always felt. I still kind of carry that now where I talk a little shit. I'm like, dude, the AL.
I don't feel like it's as great. Like there's like in Twitter, I don't know, maybe there's just not enough like AL NL hate amongst Cubs and Sox fans. But I felt the same thing you did in school growing up, where like my Cubs fans friends and I on the playground would talk some smack about who was going to win the All-Star game.
Yeah. And you would cheer for like, I mean, think about it now. Like we hate Nelson Cruz, but we cheer for him in the All-Star game because guess what? He's in the AL. So like my league is better than your league, fucker. Right. And this is what we have to deal with all the time.
My Nelson Cruz is better than your Alfonso Soriano.
100%. Yeah, exactly.
That's playground 8th grade talk for
100%.
Buzz on Tap and Tony on Tap here.
100%. And like now in my life, like I still enjoy the game, but like hypothetically, say the Minnesota Twins pull it out their ass, they make it to the World Series. I do not want. I will cheer for any NL fucking team over them. I don't care who the fuck it is. I hate the Twins. I fucking hate them. There's no chance I want them to win.
It's an interesting development in your life and my life as well when it comes to baseball. Because I used to have this allegiance, and maybe it was just I hated the Cubs more than I do now. I don't know. I still hate the Cubs a lot, though.
I don't like the Cubs either. And you know what like drives me nuts is like Juice and I have been best friends for years. And anybody listening to this podcast that has followed me knows who Juice is. He does Cubs on Tap. He's a huge Cubs fan.
See, I didn't make any Cubs fans friends until I met Ron Luce.
He's never been. I didn't have any White Sox fan friends. Everybody liked the fucking Cubs around here.
And Ron Luce is a Sox fan.
No, yeah, that's why I was confused why he said his name like that. I always thought he was a Sox fan as well. But like Juice never really gave a shit about what the Sox did. We never really had that like rivalry on who was like whatever, who was better or not. It's just like as I got into Twitter and shit, and like, I'll shout out a dude that is a good follow. He's a nice guy. His name is Greg Braggs. But he was busting the Sox balls about like, oh, well, you guys are carrying L flags everywhere. It's like, dude, like, grow the fuck up. Like, no, they're doing it in Milwaukee. I guarantee you, any diehard Sox fan right now, as much as they don't like the Cubs, is fucking more worried and talking more shit about Cleveland and Minnesota than anybody else. Because I don't give a fuck about any other team.
I think there's a way to just separate the rivalries of it. And as we talk about this in a Minnesota sense, Minnesota's been on our ass for the last few years and has been the team to beat. But Cleveland this year has also laid some stake in the White Sox. And if there's another team that I really hate right now, and it doesn't even have to do with the cheating, it was more or less the ass beating they handed to us.
Yeah.
If we're talking about rivals. The Houston Astros. I can't wait for them to roll through the rate in July because that series, I don't know if I've been more pissed off as a White Sox fan watching the White Sox just bend over and take it to the Houston Astros. But like certain teams you get up for, I feel like I'm always going to get up for the Chicago Cubs, no matter what it is. I'm always going to get up for the Minnesota Twins because Torrey Hunter and Max Kepler just grind my gears.
Fucking Joe Mauer, dude.
The Cleveland Indian pitching factory of Shane Bieber makes me want to puke my brains out. But right now, like the team that I want to beat in the American League to prove a point is the Houston Astros. That's who I want right now. If there is one team that I want to come for, it's the Houston Astros, and I want them.
You're not going to have to wait long, bud.
Trash can demolition night, and that brings me into a perfect segue. We're going to be throwing a trash can demolition night, Sox on Tap tailgate for the Saturday game against the Houston Astros, Buzz. Maybe we'll have a piñata out there that's a trash can, and we can take our bats and destroy a trash can. What do you think about that?
Oh yeah, no, we're gonna fuck some shit up when that happens on the weekend of July 17th. Sox on Tap boys will be out there. Whoever wants to come and join, go ahead. Tony and I will be driving the Buzz truck down with the grill in the back. Even maybe my new Brickstone for my birthday. Oh my God. We'll see what happens if I get one. I hope I get one. Jamie, if you're listening to this, please. That's what I want.
Subliminal advertising through the podcast. If your
Are you proud of me for that?
If your wife tuned into this show for all 57 minutes and 48 seconds that we're at right now, and listen through the whole thing and gets you that grill, just because she listened to the show.
Yeah.
And that's the only time you've ever mentioned that, correct?
Yeah, and I've never said it. Yeah.
Never said that before.
No.
I'd be impressed.
I'm glad. I'm glad I impressed you. But yes, that's when we'll be out there. But I mean, damn, Tone, we went about an hour. We've had some great conversation. Why don't we choose our picks to click for tomorrow? I already gave the pitching matchup. Everybody's getting ready to go back to work here. Give them a nice, informative, fun podcast.
Everybody's getting ready to go back to work. I'm cracking another beer.
I actually, believe it or not, dude, I'm out. That was my last one. I got to hit the liquor store. But I'm going to take none other than Yohan Moncada. He went 1 for 5 tonight. I think he gets a multi-hit game tomorrow. That's who I'm taking.
You can take Yohan Moncada all day. I'm sticking with my guy, Gavin Sheets.
How many games? Is there a fucking rule against this?
No, there is. I thought it was you can't take a player multiple times, but I have a permanent Gavin Sheets pick to click here, Buzz.
That's fine.
Permanent Gavin Sheets. We're rolling with Gavin Sheets tomorrow. He's going to go yard or do something great for the White Sox. Gavin Sheets, my guy. I'm going to do this pick to click until a Gavin Sheets jersey is resting on my back, and then I'll continue to do it from there on. Fourth, don't trade Gavin Sheets, Rick Hahn. Just don't do it.
All right. Well, I will tell everybody tomorrow. Usually I say that it's going to be some variation of the Sox on Tap crew. It will be Tony and I. We'll be back tomorrow. hopefully after the White Sox beat the Twins. Tony, you got anything else before we ride out here into the sunset?
I didn't know it was going to be you and I, but I guess I'll take it and say it's going to be you and I.
Isn't it?
I think so. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see.
It's been us for like last week.
It's been an hour. Buzz, fun show. Let's go get a win tomorrow. I'm sick and tired of talking about losses.
Yeah.
If you're just tuning into this one, be sure to go back and check the weekend coverage. Duke from Bears on Tap made his debut over the weekend. If you're a Bears fan, go follow him. Go follow Bears on Tap. He did an excellent show breaking down a terrible loss to Detroit.
Welcome
to the crew. He's starting to pay his dues, as they say over here. But Buzz, great to be back on the mic with you. Cheers. Happy 4th of July weekend to everybody. Hope you got to enjoy family, friends, barbecue, fireworks, all the good stuff. Let's go White Sox and White Sox forever.
Absolutely. Before I say my White Sox forever, be sure to go to ontapsportsnet.com for Chicago sports literature and podcasting needs. Following us on Twitter at Sox on Tap and on Tap Sportsnet. Following Tone Bone at Tony on Tap. Follow me at Buzz on Tap. 5-star rating and review anywhere you can listen to podcasts. Check out Grandstand on socials at Grandstand Sox. GrandstandSox.com, or if you're down by the ballpark, go to Grandstand, get yourself some awesome White Sox gear. We'll be back tomorrow. It'll be me and Tony after we beat the shit. After we beat the shit out of the Twins. Speak it into existence.
Gavin Sheets.
God damn it. White Sox for
White Sox forever.
White Sox forever.